Kicking it here at CES 2018 with Kicker Live on BeTerrific. I've got Kip here. Kip, how you doing, man?
Doing fantastic. How are you this morning?
I am great. You know, I love Kicker. Everybody who knows car audio knows Kicker. I had a Wrangler. It was my first car, 1997 Jeep Wrangler. I put a Kicker in the trunk, the little trunk space. I had a Dyne audio amp. I had 600 watts pumping through that baby, and I loved it. And then I had I had an S600 V12 Mercedes, two 15-inch kickers in the trunk, funneled them up through the back. It was my dad's.
I got a feeling you like bass.
Oh, I like bass. I like music. I like audio. I like good sound. Tell me what we got today at Kicker.
Well, you know, the thing, if you like Kicker that much, you know, you talk about when you had your first system. I've been working with Kicker since about 1983, 1984, so I've been in it a while.
Wow. E.T. came out in 1983. That's how long ago. Did you do, like, the bass in E.T. on a Kicker?
In my own head, I did.
I mean, did you, like, play the movie on a VHS and have a Kicker hooked up to it?
Beta, probably, back then.
Beta, there you go.
But, you know, the truth is, this is our 45th year.
45 years? Congratulations.
45
That's
years
phenomenal.
Business. So if you look around the booth, you might see the 45th anniversary logo. So this year we got a lot of cool things. I mean, if you walk through the booth, we got several real cool demo cars out front. Brand new product this year.
Can we do that? Let's walk. We're mobile. Come on.
Let's take a roll.
Come on, Dave. I got this. Yep. So keep talking.
Follow us, Cannery Guy. So over here, we got a really cool thing going on over in this area. This is our VSS product. If you have a car, a factory system, that you're like, hey, I want better sound, but I don't want to pull the radio, I don't want it to look like an aftermarket system, this demos our VSS product, and we kind of spiced it up this year. You notice there's a tent on the back.
That's right up Rory's alley, and I'm sure a lot of the Terrifics. So basically, this is your camper right off the back of your pickup.
We're actually showing off Chevy-branded accessories along with this because they provided the Colorado for us. But along with that, we got a little fire going on here. Don't burn yourself.
It's hot. Hey, can I jump in there?
If you would like to jump in there, you're more than welcome to.
Hold this. That's my intercom back. I can really jump in here?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. You hold the mic.
I got the mic.
You ready? I'm not that athletic.
That's okay.
All right. I haven't gotten that much sleep at CES, so I'll see you later. It's been nice talking to you, Kip.
But, you know, this is just a little prop that we've set up that kind of lets you look into the lifestyle of what it's like to go camping or like that and fit in with our Bullfrog product. And this is a new product we actually released last year, 20-hour battery life Bluetooth speaker product that you can take camping, outdoors, whatever you're doing. And I'll show you this. If you drop it, don't worry about it.
He just did the drop test, folks.
Just did the drop test.
Wow, that passed the Michael Artsis drop test. The first product we haven't broken on CES. You know what's great about that? You said 20-hour battery life. So, like, I like listening to music when I go to sleep, and plus if you're in the woods, you don't want people to think you're asleep because then they could do things to you. And so you can just lay down here, go to sleep 20 hours, you wake up, it's still going.
You can if you'd like to, 20 hours. Plus, you probably need a little more. That'll run longer than your phone will. You can use that as a big external battery pack and charge your phone right off of that.
That's wonderful. I think you got a customer in Rory, that's for sure. He's loving this. He can put it right on his Tundra or Tacoma or whatever it is.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lifestyle product. And if you look over your head, that's one of our smaller ones. That's called the Bullfrog 100. It is completely waterproof. I mean, you can throw it in the bathtub, let it float down the river with you, whatever. It can actually be fully immersed.
I like that. And the idea here is that you don't have to do anything to your vehicle. You don't have to rip out speakers that already exist. If you lease a vehicle, it's easy to return it.
Absolutely. That's what our VSS product is about. You know, in today's cars, they're all coming with touchscreen, steering wheel controls, Bluetooth, hands-free phone interface. So you really, if you want better sound, you need to upgrade the audio, but you don't need to change the head unit, and that's what this shows you can do.
Has that hurt your basically your business at all because of the aftermarket business?
Not really. It's just made us change what we do. It makes we have to do more work on our end so we can figure out how to interface it into your car and make it work.
Very, very interesting. So do you have things that are easier or that interface with head units that exist already so I don't have to pull out a head unit?
Absolutely. That's what VSS is part of. And what we learn from making products that interface right into your factory system, we take that technology and roll it right into all of our aftermarket products. So, for example, if you're wanting 215s and 1,000 watts of power, you don't have to change anything in your factory system. Our amplifiers have technology that comes from our work into the OEM side. So our amps will interface right into the factory radio. You don't have to change anything, so you can just add bass and a sub right to your car.
I love it. That is amazing. Now, some of the stations have to go do a station ID right now, especially the ones in Connecticut, WRTN and WTXX. Thank you so much for watching there. Thank you so much for watching on the Cumulus stations as well, and on BeTerrific and on Twitch. Let's keep walking, and we'll walk through some of the other stuff. So in here, all the speakers in here are working with the factory Chevy GMC unit, which I believe is iConnect. Is that correct, or is that's Chevy? That's Chrysler.
That's
so that would be
UConnect on Chrysler.
Right, UConnect.
On the Chevy, it's the MyLink.
MyLink, correct.
So on this, yeah, if you look in there, I notice your camera guy got a peek in there. That is the complete stock factory system that comes in the vehicle, nothing altered. And then we have a system. It's called VSS. It stands for Vehicle Specific, and it's an amplifier that ties into the factory system. It re-EQs the whole thing, utilizes the speakers that are already in your car. You don't have to change the speakers, and adds a sub.
How long would it take a guy like Dave to put it in?
How many beers does Dave drink on a weekend?
That's a great question. Probably like maybe one.
If he drinks one beer on the weekend, this would take Dave, if he has a toolbox with a few tools in it and follows the instruction sheet, it'll take him between an hour and a half and 2 hours on his own if he's never done it before.
And is it possible that I could do this in maybe 6 to 8 hours?
Absolutely. I mean, I started in this field many years ago as an installer, and I'm slow now. I'm not as fast as I used to be, but even I could do one of these systems in about 45 minutes to an hour, knowing how things come apart.
Now, everybody knows you guys for the subwoofers, but the reality is you do a lot more than just subwoofers. You guys do tweeters, and do you do mid-range speakers as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we do a full line. I mean, it's funny we're walking this direction. You asked that question, but this is our Q-Class product, and just like Ford and GM make all different price points of cars, we make different price points of speakers, and this happens to be our flagship product right here. And so as you can see, we make a full line of speakers. This is a 6x9 that drops into a lot of vehicles today. Use 6x9 not just in the rear deck, but actually in front doors. We do component speakers. Yeah, we don't do just bass anymore. We're a full line manufacturer. We provide everything from mids to highs to bass to power. You saw we do outdoor stuff with the Bullfrog. And I don't know if you noticed the big 30-foot pontoon boat in the corner.
I do. I noticed this thing, though, first. What is this? I kind of want to take this for a spin.
Well, what we've done is when you want to make products that work in an ATV, UTV, these don't have speaker-friendly locations. You got to make a way to put a speaker in these. So what we did, we're really good at making speakers. We partnered up with a company that's really good at making enclosures for these, and that's SSV Works. So these are systems that we've partnered with SSV that you can install in your ATV, UTV, and just like the VSS for aftermarket car, this is something that a guy who can turn a wrench on a weekend, put a full system in at home on your own.
You ever drive one of these?
I've not only drove one, I've flipped one head over head 3 times.
Sounds like something I would do. I flipped my Wrangler, the 97.
It's legendary.
You flipped it multiple times. It is legendary. Look at what you've done here with this beautiful VW Beetle. This is a custom job. Take me through this. I think you got a... Do you have a turbocharger in there?
This does have a turbocharger on this. This vehicle is actually put together by Sick Chops. It is a custom rod builder, and we had this at SEMA, which is another big trade show. It was here about 3 months ago. And so the response to this was so overwhelming that we decided to bring it back to CES. And this utilized, we kind of stopped at the Q-Class board over there. This has a full Q-Class system in it. And so we just brought it back to the show, and it's on display. And, of course, don't touch. We want people to take care of it because it's a work of art.
It is. Is it a 68 or a 67?
If I remember my facts correctly, I think it's a 67.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What a beautiful example. So this is the boat. What do we got here? You know, this is a boat I could get used to. I'm not a big boating guy, but I kind of like this.
Boating girl.
You're a big boating girl?
Oh, yes.
You like this, Jill?
I could be riding in style.
All right, you drive. I'll hang in the back, all right?
Back.
Who's gonna get the martinis going?
Oh, man. My boat's named Martini Shot. You just need to come see me.
Oh, I'm there. Let me know.
Up in Stockton, California.
There you go. We're going to Stockton, Kip. What do you think?
Well, if it's a boat named Martini, I'm in.
BeTerrific live from Martini Shot.
That'd be awesome.
So, you know, my ski boat is all outfitted with kicker.
Really?
So, yeah.
You like the product?
Love the product.
You know, it's interesting. You're sitting here in this boat. It's kind of unusual. We brought a 30-foot pontoon boat to CES to sit here on the floor. But as you can see, I mean, we don't only do speakers and amps, but there's a head unit. That's a Kicker Marine head unit designed for the boat. And then this year, we're really showing off. You look above your head here. This is our brand new 11-inch tower product that's designed so you can entertain yourself on your boat or entertain the people many, many, many boats away.
Yes. I see these kinds of things all the time.
Do you make head units for cars as well?
We do not necessarily make head units for cars. We, as a company, saw the handwriting on the wall many years ago and saw where it was going with the stack in the car. It's very difficult in some cars today to put a head unit in them. It really boils down to some cars today you can't put a head unit in. You're going to live with the factory radio. Some you can put in a really heavy modified kit and add a radio to it, but the industry is really going towards the radio is going to be part of the car.
You know what I love at CES? I love seeing how companies evolve, how they change, how they see the handwriting on the wall and how they move with the handwriting on the wall, and they reinvent themselves, and they think of things like modular speakers. And, you know, I think you've done a great job. 45 years is not easy to be in business for 45 years. Talk about how the company first started.
Well, it's kind of ironic. The company started in 1973. Steve Irby, who was the gentleman who started it, still owns it today. So we're a sole proprietor company. We're not held by a board. We don't have to worry about profit margins, although we do, but we don't have to answer to a big group of people. And Steve started this company on pro sound. Steve's passion was pro sound, bands, churches, live sound reinforcement. And ironically, in those days, 73, car audio then didn't exist like it does today, but he had a friend of his that approached me and said, Steve, I'd really like for you to design me something up that would sound good in my truck. I go to the oil fields, work in the fields. I'd like to be able to pull it out and use it at the fields, put it back in, drive home. And Steve said, what's car audio? I don't have any interest in this car audio stuff. And his friend, like most, bugged him enough that Steve finally said, okay, I'll use what I know and I'll design you something. And what he built up was the original kicker box. And the original kicker utilized two 6.5-inch woofers, a passive radiator, and full-range horns on top to get the sound over the back of the seat. And literally, that's where it started. The original kicker got this company started down the path of car audio. The pro side kind of just went away, and we've become the largest worldwide seller of really high-performance car audio. We were really proud, according to the NPD data, we're now the #1 sold amplifier in the United States with our little CX601, so we're real proud of that.
Congratulations, that's phenomenal. Great story. How'd you get to the company in 1983, 84?
Really kind of ironic. I went to college for computer programming and business management, so that has nothing to do with this. But I started working part-time at a retail store that did audio. They did home audio, car audio, the whole thing. And I just kind of, once it gets in your blood, you can't get away from it. And I worked in retail for quite a few years. I moved into the repping field, which, as you know, a lot of our reps, independent in the field, are out there to represent our brand. I did that for a couple years, and then Kicker saw me do a training and said, we'd like for you to come work for us. And so 6 months later, I was at the company.
And you love it?
I've been with the company now. This has started my 23rd year.
You say it's privately owned. Is it still like a family-run business?
It's more family than you know. I mean, the owner of our company, he really, and I'm going to say this, and I hope everyone can appreciate it, the order of his priorities is God, family, company. And those of us who work there, we're family. And he does everything he can to ensure that we're happy, we're employed. It's a really a wonderful experience. I mean, all companies have to make a profit, and profit's not a dirty word. A profit lets the company live and thrive and pay its employees, but we put people above profit.
I love it. Thank you so much for telling your story, Kip, and for talking to us. Thank you, Jill.
Hey, you're very welcome. Happy to be here.
Excellent. We're kicking it with Kicker at CES 2018. I'm going to head back to set. We're going to let Allison take it away from the floor. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more coming at you. CES Live on BeTerrific. Stay with us.